c'era la schermata sbagliata, ma a noi interessa poco o niente. Benvenuti e bentornati su The Gaming Closet. Tekken 8, ma io su Tekken 8 mi devo allenare un pochino. E allora intanto vogliamo andare su Esoteric Ebb? Chi lo sa? Eravamo al diavoletto, se non sbaglio, al dannato diavoletto. Continuiamo. No, sì, eravamo in quell'area gigante. Questo è il proseguimento del terzo episodio. O non so a che punto siamo. Io vorrei fare un unico file finale gigante da 10 ore. Chissà se ce la farò. Ok. Handful of bicycle or station. Bicycle, va bene. Land transportation. Not a lot of bikes. Kilometers are probably too scared to head past the tea shop. This particular bike is yours. Check the key lock. You lean in and take a closer look. The rusty chain seems brittle but wrapped so hard around the tire that it would be annoying to get off even if you had the key. Why would you wrap it like that? Wait, this is my bike? Yes, you fool. Keep up. Sure, best way to travel in Norwich, except of course on this godforsaken island. Where's the key? Not here. Did you lose it somewhere? Chi lo sa. Siamo pure caduti in acqua. The bottom of the river along with the rest of your dignity. Hold on, when exactly did I come to Tolstad? On the 21st of March. Evening. Esperienza davvero poca. I stumbled over the stone railing. Oh. And broke the shift out of it. Was I alone? No. Lucky strike from some drunk fool probably. Do I recall anything important? You chained the bike, you stood up. Then pain. That's it, that's what I remember. Yes. Questing tree. You were brought to the Lichos by some fishermen, but how did it... Sto più o meno pieno di roba. Le mele non ce l'ho più. Can eat too full. Serba BA Constitution Behold. Oh, quasi. Dwarf Exile. Level 1 Service Worker. A girl born from a Nazgalist wave. In a Nazgala household. Come from fallen Nazgal state. She is a Nazgalist. Dangerously shy. She needs good friends and better mentors. That is not you, by the way. She has a bright future ahead of her, no matter the path she ended up pushed along into. Alas, her agency is nowhere to be found. Not that she's looking for it. La ingaggiamo, certo. Where is she? The dwarven girl gazes around the halfway bridge before her eyes land on you. You say nothing for a while, just staring at you, no real reaction on her face. Citizen. She looks around, clearly nervous. You're worrying her by your presence alone, potentially by something else as well. I'm waiting for a friend, but she hasn't shown up yet. I'm getting worried. I can help with that, get excited about potential yet very minor quest. Oh, ok. Eh sì, fammi scrivere un messaggio. Perché su 3 robe dovrebbe uscire? Perché event not started? Scusate, ma... No, ci sta. Ci sta. Ok. She feeds with her hands and clears her throat. This girl is neurotic and introverted. She has glasses. She wears a green coat. She's a human, but not that much taller than me. We were supposed to meet up here, but she hasn't shown up yet. I will go look for a friend with the glasses. Thanks. I don't spend much time on Toasted alone. I'm a bit lost, so thanks. The halfway bridge, it connects with the palace and the rest of southern Norway. Oh, scusate, questa devo prendere. Cos'è? The rough letter spells out Our Lady's apartment. Ma non c'è modo di entrare. E qui abbiamo sempre la lucetta. La nostra magia. No. Questo pure l'abbiamo fatto. L'altar, ci andiamo all'altar e preghiamo per tutte le cose. Dragon of Tolsta, the famous goblin leader, her rich sharp, her gaze strong, she wants you to investigate the tea shop and report to her. Ok, questo lo sappiamo. Contemplate. Sì, questo pure me lo ricordo. Stiamo purtroppo rifacendo le stesse robe. Success. Ci siamo ilati. Abbiamo realizzato Prayer of Healing. Cure wounds. I'm done here. Prima spell di secondo livello imparata. Varie corone, non sottovaluterei. Un altro goblin. E poi si scende giù. Snell. Ah, dexterity, dexterity, siamo forti. Goblin Forest, level 3 rogue. This goblin gets shit done, no matter the odds. Highly competent, but with a craving of validation. Just look at the way he dressed himself. Doesn't work for himself on any ideal. This goblin devotes his life for his lady, no different from religion. Vedi quante cose avremmo potuto sapere. Più si rolla alto, più si va. Allora, l'audio mi sembra andare bene. Mi è venuto il dubbio di controllare questo microfono. Ci sta? Non ci sta? Ingaggiamolo. You find a goblin standing at the tip of Tolstad. His clothes are fit for a Ridzian trader and his haircut is fit for an Ascani nobleman. A superficial fellow. This goblin cares much about looks. You catch him immediately glancing at your outfit. Let me guess. You're the cleric. Taking you for granted, this goblin needs to learn the humility. Yes, I'm the cleric, that's me. Sì, sì. He nods, looking tired and annoyed. The path of being cleric is becoming even more familiar. Gain 50 XP 5% for choosing this class 3 times. Beh, sì, l'abbiamo scelto. I'm Snell, runner and antler of the HWBT. Old ladies be waiting for you. This old lady must be his chieftain, the matriarch of his tribe. You should greet him properly. Give a traditional salute. Halfway Bridge Tribe. You catch him under his breath, whispering for himself something along the lines of this fucking guy. Old lady, the lady of below, dragon of Tolstad. You raise an eyebrow. Lady Sageleaf. Hello, goblin. Nope. Nope. Nell gestures for you to get up. Stop. No squatting. That's not how you do it. So I just look down on you? Yes, cleric, you look down on me. I didn't know, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter, but just don't, ok? Beh, mi piace come noi affrontiamo sempre con l'ironia piuttosto che aggredendo. Stop squatting. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Snell. Perform a traditional goblin salute. You raise your arm into the air as one should when greeting an uncivilized tribal goblin. What the fuck? Dice cleric, what are you doing? Check your hands, Riddle. Not feeling it? Don't understand or respecting your culture, goblin. The goblin does not respond, nor does he raise his own arms. Instead, he simply stares at you. His expression speaks of pain. Please stop, cleric. You feel great shame. Scoring your mind, it becomes clear to you that goblins in fact don't have a cultural salute. What do you remember? However, is a salute from an old Urtfolk play, wherein goblins were played by green-painted humans who ran around with their arms in the air. Oh no. Looks around, he's struggling to find the right word. Exasperated, more like. Okay, right. Head down to the garden throne, but he waves his claw towards you. What's all this? You look like a human shit. You've been floating around in the banks of the river. Your uniform shows it. He's insulting you. Legal, you should teach him a lesson. Whatever do you mean? I fell into the river. He gives a shocked look. What, really? It's fine. Somebody fish me up. Luckily, I suppose. Just dust yourself off. The dragon's waiting, and trust me, you don't want to disappoint her. Is she spooky? Tell me more about this lady. Sure, for starters, she's the most powerful woman in Norvik. Questo già l'avevamo intuito, già ce l'hanno detto. And considering there was an explosion yesterday right in the middle of her territory, I think it's about time you do your damn job, cleric. I'm not afraid of her. Famous last word. She's spooky? Yeah, real scary. Insult her, she will bite your head off. Then she'll scorch your corpse to the dust. A jest, I'm sure. He laughed and crossed his arm. Ah, but seriously, she will fuck you up if you annoy her. Okay, let me to her. Good. But just to make it perfectly clear, some ground rules. Don't say anything stupid, don't climb the trees, stay away from the edge, and he grinds, showing off his polished fangs. Enjoy the garden, cleric. The goblin scurries down the stairs, seems to be in a hurry. This dragon sounds dangerous, keep track of her fangs. She's just another warlord fighting over scraps. Don't let her get to you. Tell her what she wants to hear, and you will be fine. You look out just the river, the cold Ascani wind slips you cracked, and then... C'erano altre cose da fare sopra. Secondo me, ma le faremo dopo. Entriamo. Those before left many also in the background. Your stomach twist. Beware her illusion. A tunnel to Central Tolstad. Eccola, The Dragon herself. Andiamoci a parlare. He's waiting. You approach him below a sprawling tree. The well-dressed goblin stands proud beside his buster. Ci ha detto di non salire sugli alberi. Cosa importante. Go ahead, cleric. With a proud smirk, he motioned towards the wooden throne. You should stand before the throne at the court. Ok, then. Wisdom ce ne abbiamo pochina. Something is very wrong. Her eyes are striking your soul. Hold on to that feeling, or you will be consumed. She wields power you could only dream of. Yet her action betray her nature. Evil, good, is the selfishness for one own tribe the defined trait? Chissà se lo possiamo... Ok, later. Bellissimo anello. Vai, siamo pronti a questa roba? You approach the throne. Ah, fatemi mettere la storia su TikTok però soltanto. You approach the throne. The sprites flutter, their glow illuminating the trunks of this great tree, its roots reaching far below, its branches holding up the dirt ceiling above. On the throne sits a tiny goblin, as smirk as bright as it threatening. So this is the dragon. Yes, I can see it. Her glare is horrific. Cleric of Norwick of Urter River, a shrill voice echoes to the ship. She's talking to you. You're the cleric. Great observation. I was assured by your masters, the top brass of the palace itself. Her voice caused you to shiver. They told me a cleric of the highest standing would arrive within the hour. So tell me, human. Dominion, she has control here. Why am I sitting here, waiting? It's not that late, only been like a day. Tread lightly. You need her on your side. Make sure she knows you're on hers. Every word you say here could have a profound impact on the rest of this quest of yours. Chissà quanto va a influire sul gioco. It's only been a day. My apologies, lady. Her front turns into a weary expression. Whatever. You're dancing on a fine line. Hers is a frightful presence. Frightful presence. Some powerful creatures have auras that cause fear to those near. Fail means succumbing to mindless terror, along with other annoying effects. You can't take this much longer. You need to get out of here. Constitution di 10. Do not become frightened. Invece lo divento, porca miseria. No, no. Shit. Get out of here. Adrenaline keeps your legs from buckling under the intense as you turn and run. Whatever reaction the goblin have to your retreat, we're not around to see or hear it. Where am I? You ran for quite a while. When your mind calmed itself, you're sitting inside of an empty barrel. How did I get here? Unsure. All of this is rather confusing. Wait, I hid in a barrel? More or less. Cioè, siamo provati a scappare, non sappiamo come, siamo entrati dentro un barile. The dragon chased you. Maybe. Leave the barrel. As you do, you realize the barrel is but one of many, located in a tunnel you've never seen before. There I see him. Cleric. Oh. Cleric, you're now wasted another precious hour. Please do not run away again. Amazing. The lady trying not to scare you off again. Maybe she will actually be nicer to you now. Running away is always an option. The fact that you're still alive means it's also a smart option. This is Nell panting next to the throne. Not my fault. Not my fault you're scary. I apologize, Lady Sage Lift. Yes, whatever. Let us continue. The dragon leans on her armchair, letting out an exhausted groan. Molto, non sembra tanto spaventosa, ma sono tutti un po' caricaturali i personaggi. It is vexing to watch my streets descend so far. Are you even aware, cleric? A local business caught up in an inferno, in the middle of the day, right on Pillar Road. My road. The way she said that caused you to tremble. And yet, Magistrate Darrow, she spits out the name like it's a curse word. He alone believes the Alfway Bridge tribe does not have jurisdiction over this particular location. The magistrate speaks for the city. Why does Darrow say that? Where is your usual jurisdiction? And where exactly is this shop located? No, chiediamo la cosa di Darrow, io sceglierei questa. Because he is a full burnout of nepotism and alcohol. Big burn. Sounds awesome. She glares at you. It is or was rented out of a corner of the central fort, just above the halls, next to the pillar. She snaps her finger towards the goblin to her right. That means it's a part of the core foundation of this island fortress, therefore that property is legally an underground rental unit, you say. Bowing his head. Lady. Quindi c'è pure una questione di giurisdizione. È legale dal punto di vista legale. Dell'underground rental unit, ma va a capire. My people have been handling this damn crow's contract for years. But no, suddenly when the entire unit goes up in flames, that's when my people no longer have the right to enter the premises. To deal with it, to clean up even. No, suddenly it is the city business, and we should keep our nose out of it. Corruption, plain and simple. That's one hell of an accusation. Don't slander the great city of Norway, Goblin. Sounds shady. That's one hell of an accusation. A sharp glare stabs you. Oh, you haven't heard half of it? And don't get me started on the actual effect that this has on my people. Nell, she say, and beckoned towards the comely goblin. He approached the root and take a bow. A bow. Lady Sage Lift. Alza perché viene il bow. Che sonnino, ragazzi, oggi. Ma com'è che ho iniziato da mezz'ora? C'ho un sonno pazzesco. Then it turns to you. The magistrate says it was an accident involving a fireplace failure. They've yet to send anyone in the actual investigated the scene. How can you know that? You should trust the magistrate. You want to check it out yourself? Of course. The lady glanced at him, to which he responds by making a nervous face. The explosion occurred on the 21st of March, just past noon. 3 minor injuries were reported in the area. Luckily, foot traffic was low at the time of the incident, so despite the massive kaboom, no dead folks. Who were the injured? The star witnesses upload. Si è uploadato la quest. We only managed to get one name in the chaos, a certain Frank, son of Frank, who was said to have walked away with lesser burns. Frank, figlio di Frank. That's the sort of prefix used by Urtfolk. A human, most likely. Ah, that ain't a real name. He was apparently dressed in a fancy yellow outfit, whatever that means. Beyond that, quindi forse quelli che hanno usato la magia, perché sappiamo che la verità è, dicevamo, probabilmente qualcuno ha usato la magia impropriamente. Beyond that, we have some conflicting accounts. One person said, quote, he looked like one of them dungeoneers, you're a real adventuring man, end quote. Another said he was looking to get out of trouble, heading right down the stairs to Waterlane. Either he went down into the dungeon or over to Waterlane. Got it. I remember, if he's wearing yellow, he's got style. He got style. Ci dice la dexterity che è gialla. Frank, son of Frank? Yeah. Ah, the goblin knows it's fake, but it's their only lead. That's a fake name. Uh-huh. At the engineer, if you believe it, that comment was from one of the militia members. Would be smart to check the city below just in case, despite the dangers. Down to water lane? Yes. Seems like he was heading the direction. So down could mean a number of things. So, water lane included. Fancy yellow outfit? I'm assuming some type of Raridzian fashion. You can tell on his voice that he's leaving out a but who fucking knows at the end. Was he inside at the time? I doubt it, he said, considering the state of their building. Quindi forte boom. Why was he there? We don't know. Where is he now? We don't know. They have not located the man despite major effort. Just let him leave. Do you know anything? Sounds like you were handed a tough hand. Yeah. Alto, one of the militia member. Alto, one of the militia members mentioned him. Just calmly walking away down the stair. Maybe down to the crossing. Somewhere else. We don't know. Anything else you do know? Nell gives a nervous look to his master before answering you. We have theories, but we need proof. The lady raises her claw. The unveiling has begun, cleric. So dramatic, lover. Corruption, madness. She claws at her wooden throne. Politics. Rambling of fool. This is clearly the work of a rogue spellcaster. Someone who cannot go unpunished. Un rogue spellcaster, quindi anche lei però è pienamente consapevole che si usa la magia. A spell would indeed be the only logical answer for such destruction. I will bring justice to Norwich. A rogue spellcaster? Isn't there an anti-magic task force we can call for? Why, yes, there is, she exclaims. She points with a sharp finger. You. The Arcana Clerics of Urtkar, one of the few authorized spellcaster group in the city. Often used as a task force in esoteric events, accident and magical assault. The lady clears her throat, loudly. Everyone hold their breath when she speaks. Dragon of Tolstad completed. I formally declare a joint venture. The Halfway Bridge tribe and the Urtkar city clerics shall investigate the tea shop on Pillar Road and bring justice to those who seek to harm in the peace. No creature, foul or fair, shall escape my rage. Mi piace questa frase. The words sip out her mouth, burning the air. Every goblin in the chamber looked upon her in awe. She's there to serve. So this is about revenge? Nod solemnly. She looks upon you with a grim expression. Nell, she say, waving towards him. Yes, Lady Sageleaf, he say, bowing his head. You're the handler of this case. You've worked on it since the explosion. You know more than anyone. You catch the goblin trying to stop a grin from spreading across his face. Oh la la, complimented by his queen. Quindi saremo sottoposti a lui nell'indagine? Spero di no. I want you to represent the tribe in this venture. His face lights up. A goblin and a cleric, together. You will have access to both Upper and Lower Tolstad. You're going to have the pretty boy around? Damn, I thought this one's going to be fun. Do not disappoint me, Snell. Do I have a say in this? A new member to the party. I will want a goblin of my own. He ignores you. The goblin takes a deep bow. The evil forces at work will be vanquished. Huzzah! The mystery of the tea shop shall be uncovered. At your service, Lady Sageleaf. The sooner the better. First priority is the tea shop. We need to gain access. Your new goblin companion gives you a quick wave. Let's go, cleric. Ah, vedi, unlock Snell as a companion. Snell has joined as a companion. You can speak with him if you need help finding your way across Tolstad. For as much as she told you, there's a danger you're missing here. You should investigate the tea shop. Crowley. And we should also look for that witness. How do I gain access to the tea shop? Right. And where's the tea shop again? Yeah, our Frank, dressed in yellow. Questo Frank presunto. He winces. Credo, he winces. Sussulta.
Winces.
Ci sta. Gods, that's funny. Either over on Waterlane or down the city below. Yeah, the port of the dungeon. I'd suggest the port, since it's slightly less life-threatening, generally speaking. How do I gain access to the tea shop? Talk to your boss, Darrow. Or I guess he's not your direct boss, or whatever. But you will need to get an audience with him if you want to get inside the tea shop. Right, and where's the tea shop again? The goblin side. You know the massive pillar reaching endlessly up into the sky? Yeah, just west of that. Very funny asshole. It's quite silly to think that anyone within 100 miles would not be aware of the precise location of the gigantic stone pillar reaching up indefinitely into the sky, especially when it is located less than 10 feet from your current location. Noi non lo sappiamo, non sappiamo niente, siamo come un po' post-amnesia, questo abbiamo capito. Just look up. There is one such pillar in each bend. It is an ancient and extremely magical. Let's go. Vedi, possiamo fare tante cosine. Questo è davvero un gioco che ti addormenta. Io avrei bisogno di un altro caffè. Ma sono quasi le 6, non era giusto. Have some... no. What's your angle? I'm here of Biafra Sagely. What if it did burst into flames in the middle of the night instead? I don't think she'd like that either. But why are we really here? My motives are not of interest, Clary. False. Motive is imperative in reaching into the heart of someone. You got any family? I'm a goblin. What do you think? Goblins normally live in tribal societies with a broad family structure. Your companion most likely has at the very least a dozen or so siblings. Any less would be remarkable, even in Nordvik. Why would you care about goblin family structures? They don't even have their own culture. That was the point of their genocide. Well, I don't know. He's 6. Eh sì, questo pure è 6.
Size.
Ah, his size. Yeah, got lots of siblings, duh. And got no offspring too. So.
though,
although. Thanks for the gods for that. I see, you are infertile. The goblin suddenly looks very tired. He stutters out a response. He does not want you to go further in this line of query. No, cleric, I'm not infertile. Second guess, you're an Prove it. Stop eating on the goblin. No, gonna do that. Actually, I'm not sure I would even do that in a reasonable time frame. He looks away himself. Why am I entertaining this? I have some other quests. Where do I sleep tonight? I don't know, cleric. He gives you a defeated look. Can the city pay for something? You're a cleric, for God's sake. I can just not sleep. That's fair, right? Are you asking for permission? He sighs. You will get exhausted if you don't sleep, cleric. Do not take a long rest 8 hours before dawn. You will get 6 level of exhaustion. You get 10 level of exhaustion, you die. Actually, I really should find a place to sleep. More things you've said all day. Can I sleep with you? No, and seriously, don't phrase it like that. Maybe I can sleep with Visken. Probably too warm for him. And don't phrase it like that. Can I sleep in the Goblin Garden? No. Or, I mean, he thinks about it for a second and then once again says no. I can just sleep here. Looks around. Just here? Yeah. Right here? He's reaching to your current environment. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. Guess I could ask the Coin Lord. Ah, yeah, that was your boss on this job, isn't he? Guess you got another things to talk him about. Fun. I'm not so tiny dictator. Dove stiamo andando? Allora, c'è una questing trick che abbiamo finito, che è quella del... Dai. Questo era antipatichello. The goblin's little learns and whisper. You want to run down right in front of him? That's not the point, cleric. Call out Visken. Visken is a local mortician, unaffiliated, works on contract with the city. The HWBT has a deal with him, partially because he's a neighbor and partially because he's not, you know, a normal person. Mortal. Goblin clears his throat and throws a glance back at the mortician. He's not the type you want to make enemies with, but hey, he seems to like you. So good job on that. My suggestion, keep your distance, just to be safe. What's there to say? I know about as much as your average Norwegian. He does humble snarl. How much does your average Norwegian know? Very little, I'm afraid. He's looking at you, waiting for another question, despite you obviously wanting more information. The pale man is toying with you, and now you can tell me the I heard the explosion. I went out to investigate only to find the tea shop caught up in a raging inferno. The Tossad militia were already heading into action, so I went back inside, as to not be in the way. A bunch of goblins keeping monsters from entering from the undercoast path. They also do firefighting and are mostly funded by the HWBT. Quindi la milizia siamo noi, siamo Sage Leaf e I suoi. He's describing it with a wonderful rhythm. Either he's a great storyteller or this speech has been rehearsed. Perché sarà...
Rehearsed.
What are you doing when the explosion occurred? Working. Emotion towards the stack of paper. The explosion occurred at noon, but the day it happened was... You must know it was the end of life reported on a sailor. Tragic. Let's see. If he's lying, ask something really specific. What was his name? Jordan Lindstedt. Prefer not to speak too much on the subject, however. Understandable. Did you... You see his eyes fixed into you a bit too hard, searching for an answer, just for a split second. I was behind you. You know how it is. I'm sure... Vedi, qualche cosa gliela possiamo cavare fuori. Just a loud bang, some shouting afterwards. How loud? It shook the Lich House, and mind you, this is not some ordinary basement. This is a remnant tower going hundreds of feet deep into the earth. I'd be surprised if anyone on Tossad missed it. What sort of shouting? From the militia. From the militia. They were rushing to the scene. The fire prevention declaration has truly done wonderful for the city. Wonders. Well. Fire Prevention Declaration signed into action a few years ago. The Fire Prevention Declaration is a governmental attempt to curb the spreading of fires by employing always ready folks in every district. The response time have been pushed down to less than 10 minutes. Nothing else? As the entire district almost turned into an inferno, yes. There was quite a lot of commotion, nothing that stands out however. Like, actually nothing else? Not that I recall. Are you sure? The pale man stares at you for a while. How thick are you? Pretty sure. Personal question. Stop, you already wasted enough time. Just leave. Ma come leave? The pale man shifted in his seat. Very well. Oh god, get out of here. What are you voting direction? Interesting question. A bit invasive, but I will oblige. I'll be voting for the party of Norvik. Numinis. Could have updated set response proven. Ok, quindi molto conservatore. The people's needs are proclaimed protected of Earth legacy. Party of Norvik wants to uphold the divinity right of a dead divine dictator. They have my vote. The goblins scoff. Not unusual for well-off human men to vote for the Earthfolk party. Although this fellow doesn't strike me as the religious kind. A vote is cast for self-interested. It takes a special man to vote for any other reason. Urted spirits will live on through these people. I'm not Urtfolk myself, but I have the utmost of respect for your tradition. You're an immigrant? You could call me that. From Reeds. Quindi vedi, non è un nativo neppure lui. The Grand Republics of Reeds, a collection of city-states fallen to the cause of that free strider over the course of the last 30 years. A generation lost to the allure of representation. Reeds, and you're not voting Strider? There's a reason I left. I like immigrants. I hate immigrants. I don't think... I like immigrants. Some people do. What kind of immigrants suit your taste? Anyone from outside Ascani? Goblins are pretty cool. And the elves. Anyone? All of them then? You really have a wonderful view of people. Tell me about this place. A leech house? This is my establishment. We handle dead bodies for the city these days. Not terrible lucrative, but it is good work. How's business? Certo, glielo chiediamo slow, which suits me just fine. During the curse crisis a few years back, this place was stuffed to the brim with dead folks. To the brim. Fino al bordo. I like it more when it's relatively empty, like today. Do you store the bodies down here? I do. The ancient ventilation system keeps this particular area cooled to an unnatural degree, even during intense summer months. Ventilation system also is full of tiny holes and air shaft. This circulated air from the rivers wind all throughout the tunnels. No one knows fully how they work, but they circulate both heated and cooled air, most like magical in nature. Eh sì, questo neanche sa bene come avviene la roba. The city has been a very grateful patron over the year. Was this always a morgue related business? Vado a fare un attimo pipì. Continuo a non capire. A morgue related business. Actually no, I used to dabble in dentistry and surgery a while back. I dabble, mi cimentavo, mi dilettavo. I scaled down that production to focus on my private life more. Private life? That's something you say when you don't want to talk about it. Don't ask about this private life. My business is still very important to me, of course. Is it profitable? Enough for a decent life. It must be quite a bit more than just a decent life to afford such a location. How did you afford such a prime piece of real estate? This whole thing must be quite the investment. Yes, it did not come cheap, but I have my connection with city officials, you see, having offered my service for a low rate in exchange for a healthy lease agreement. An exchange of favors. Perhaps the pale man will do the same for you. What do you pay the kobold? Hostis paid 2 silver a day. Ah, not bad. Silver a day will be 60 silver a month. That's better than many statesmen. How much am I getting paid? 4 silver a week before the demotion. The what now? It is easy. Ah, perché mi hanno demotivato? Easy come Ace, un po' sopra le righe, non chiaro. Damn, you must really like that kobold. He's good at this job. Can you hire me? I believe you already have your hands full. We do. Perhaps we can speak more after the election. Who knows what it will bring. Okay. Why are there a lot, and I mean a lot, of apples downstairs? Ah, yes. A deal between me and Lady Sagelift. A deal? Share storage. It got quite heated here a few years ago during a certain crisis. So now, during less heated moments, they store a lot of produce there. A win-win. Really is. Highly impressive. Isn't it some kind of violation to store fresh product next to a corpse? No? He's right, unfortunately. The Goblin have a unique policy in place, separate from the rest of Norwegian agriculture community. What's the deal with? Point at the green creature by the stairs. Ah, yes, bit embarrassing. I got my hands on an egg some time ago. Thought I'd be a basilisk, now I have a devoted servant. Kobolds usually don't follow random pale men, they follow dragon. A basilisk? Also embarrassing, I wanted to see whether or not they were feathered. I've yet to find out. Are you his father? No, he simply hatched in my presence. Slavery is illegal in Norwich. I pay host very well, and is under no obligation to stay. Ma questo già ce l'ha detto prima che lo paga. I understand why you ask. I've had to explain it several times at the pit house. Did you give him that crossbow? No, he found that himself, I believe. Very proud of him. Poi ci siamo ciulati noi la scorsa volta. Why does he call you master? Who knows? It's a kobold thing. Your companion scoffed to himself. Kobolds usually worship dragons. Yes, I've heard as much. Are you a dragon? No, sadly not. Your comments amuse the pale man. I have some other question. Do you even wonder about the world? His eyes lights up. Certainly. Now ending with a deeply philosophical statement. The feeling? No, you don't have the ability to produce words able to describe it. Not yet. Same. His eye grew dark once more. You blew it. Anything else? I've run out of personal questions actually. Good to hear. Any less personal questions then? Or are we done? Ah, vedi, siamo passati a 28. Però è un di 20-1, ma come facciamo? Però qui tiriamo 2 dadi. E se mi becca? letto, andiamo a dormire. Ma poi so così tante cose che volevo vedere pure sotto. Drunk Ship. Behold, Drunk Sphinx. Open at le 18. Una short rest. Abbiamo rollato pure il massimo. Oh. Va bene, qui ci stiamo. No, andiamo da soli, no. Andiamo a trafalare la mela. Bellissimo tutto quello che... Qui ti puoi prendere tutto senza che nessuno ti rompa le scatole. Ma questa borsa di chi è? Ah, satchel. Che look grisi. Satchel, così. Cos'è? Una cartella. Oil instruction. A page of hard-read text titled Ogni, Starter Guide to Esoteric Memorization. Examine. You hold up the paper, finding it to actually be a torn-out page of a book. The name in the margin suggests the book is called Ogni, Starter Guide to Esoteric Memorization. Read it, it's quite lengthy. The goblin leans in over your shoulder and read it as well. The first step to understanding esoteric memorization is understanding the underlying powers at play. Your strings stretch across this coast, invisible to the eye, yet connected to all things living and dead. Your strings, the ley lines of esoteric power that holds the realm together. A spell is simply a set of rules you must follow in order to manipulate those strings into esoteric effort. Newbie wizard, maybe. Oh, how many can you memorize? I'm a bunch, I'm very talented. I'm more of a feeling kind of spellcaster. I don't care for numbers or rule of logic. A bunch. Uh-huh. He turns back to look at the page. Keep reading. This is the big divide between cantrips and actual spell, as cantrips are both easy to remember and will not consume a spell slot. Spell slots are the common representation of how many spells of each spell level a caster is able to perform without rest. As a gnome, you are naturally gifted in the art of illusion magic. Other schools will be more difficult to memorize. A suggested harmless spell to use in training is the first level spell Grease. To increase your chance at memorization, attempt to cast it at least 2 times per day. Quindi Grease come allenamento. In the margin there is a handwritten hard to read note. Hard to read note. Oil instruction. It is every evening and every lunch break at work. Remember, you can do it. Oh no. You deduce that this did not pan out well for the author. Oh, magnificent deduction. Magnificent deduction. You truly are a genius. Yes, true. The goblin leans out over the ridge, looking down into the river. Damn. An esoteric mishap. Magic is a blade without a handle, and so on. Indeed. Grease is a dangerous spell. Infatti. Intensely dangerous. A greasy handing. Went out like he went in. Learn the spell. Memorize grease. See, you quickly memorize the piece of paper. That's something at least. Range its feet, a bit of pork random butter. Situational up to a minute. Slick grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range and turns into a low friction difficulty terrain for the duration. Ci sta. Però cure wounds. Cura ferite.
Wounds.
Wounds. Regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 più wisdom ability modifier. Prayer of healing. Instantaneous. Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range each regain hit points equal to d2d8 più lo spellcasting ability modifier. Spell such effect. Beh, questa è molto meglio. E questo? Behold, a glorious seagull. Gli vogliamo piccare la piuma? Wow! Wisdom è comunque bassa. Dai, piuttosto che il tutto. Ingaggiamolo. You see a bird sitting on the halfway bridge ruins. It is large. Its beady eyes staring out into nothing. Beady.
Beady.
Cosa sono? Bidi? Non lo so. It checked you out just as you approach. The birds got you under control. Greetings, servant of the river. This thing's dangerous, Nell? Nah, giant seagull don't attack people. Giant seagull are a native Ascani bird. They are an opportunistic feeder upon the coast, hunting the various large and monstrous fish and crustaceans, as well as scraps left by folks. They are seldom aggressive despite their size. They do steal stuff sometimes, but don't leave food out in the open air and you will be fine. The bird does not appear to react to you. The giant seagull. You have a number of traumatic run-ins with them during your youth. You think this guy knows something, Snell? I don't know, cleric. It's a gull. Pet the birdie. As you reach for, the gull doesn't seem to react until it snaps at your fingers and you quickly pull it away. Could have been bad. Beh, questo ce la stacca un dito, santo Dio. Don't. He reads books? Did not expect that. Does not want a pet, so yes, stop. E ce ne andiamo. Un gioco proprio davvero di esplorare tanto. Forse troppo. Dopo mixtape ci voleva? Non ci voleva? Chi lo sa. La trash... Vediamo nel secchio della mondezza. Certo. You did not... Let me get this clear. You find yourself out on Pillar Road. You see a cardamom tree in the bin. It's been out there for gods know how long. And you think to yourself, what the hell, I will just eat some trash. Calm down. It's not trash. Rationalize eating trash. It is done. You're too late. Hold up your prize and smile. Was it in the trash? Above the rim? Oh yeah. You sure about that sport? Of course, I promise. You weren't just diving with your entire arm into the trash bin. He was hovering like an angel. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Sorry to say, but you officially crossed the line dividing man from bum. You're now a bum. Sì, facciamo un po' cagare. The Great Perch of Norvik. The Central Temple of Urt. Da dove veniamo? Old symbol of an old regime. A street sign. You can look at it. The wooden boards have faintly glowing lettering on them. Floating just an inch off the surface, the names of several locations are spelled out. A common type of magical ink. Creates permanent message of any surface, until the spell, of course. This appears to be the more advanced kind, with a magic mouth-like ability. It can react to your command and reshape temporarily. The sixth message, however, is only painted into the plank. Which way is Darrow House? Which way is Tolstad Center? Which way is Pillar Road? Tolstad Field, Waterley View? Which way is Goblin Garden?
Huh?
If we could afford that fancy magic ink, I'd say downstairs over the grass into the tunnel. Glory to Sage Leaf, probably. Clean and concise. How unsophisticated. Which way is Darrow House? The words reshape for a moment to the up the temple slope and the golden stairs. Ancestral home of the Darrows. One of the most influential noble families in Norway. Where is Tolstad Center? Up the temple slope and through Tol's route. Pillar Road, down the temple steps. Just follow the, you know, massive pillar rising endlessly into the sky. Questo ce l'hanno detto tutti. And you will find Pillar Road pretty easily. Which way? Tolstad Field. Down the temple steps, across the circle square. Which way is Water Lane View? Down the temple steps, across the circle square, through the garden tunnel, over the pillar crossing. Good sign. Questo quindi ci aiuta su tutto. Chi è questa donna? Oh, quella vestita di verde. L'abbiamo trovata. Utazgal Modissa. Wisdom, non famo niente, non famo niente, non troviamo mai niente. Con lei, con la... The Asgal chant. No, non gli trefoliamo niente. You see a girl with glasses stuffing a mazelet with magazine. Yeah, that's not a courier, he whispered to you. What do you mean, Snell? She's delivering the news, clearly. The girl gives up on trying to jam the slightly too large paper into the mailbox opening. Huh? She looks up to you, adjusting her glass. Harper pushed the paper into the slit, ma dobbiamo... Ok, per fortuna. She takes a step back as you approach the mailbox slit. Cleric? Don't worry, little lady, a real man is here. With the force of at least a dozen angry muscles, you grab into the edge of the half-entered paper and powerfully press it to the slot. You do realize once done that you probably didn't need that much force to press it, but it sure looked good. I did not ask for help. But you got it. Young and dumb updated. I don't have time for this. Modissa, you hear a voice call out Dally, let's go. She glanced at the stack of papers and muttered herself. Shit. Jean, Clannis. We gotta get done before evening, otherwise Water Lane is screwed. You hear the girl in green groan as she grabs her stack of paper. Then she rushes down the hallway. Not sure what that was about, but did you see the armband? Adds Galist. It's just some girl, no need to care. I'm done here. Westall's route. There are no funds, nor focus needed to restore these structures. E questa chi è? Lady Chamber, Mountain Lamb. A follower of the Ali Mountain. Of Divinitorum. She hates you, entirely due to your blood origin, or maybe there's something else. Ah, mi piace quando mi odiano. Lady Chamber, Mountain Lamb. The hooded woman's cape flutters as an icy wind rushes through the Tolstad rise. Her eyes are locked with yours. Greetings. Hello. Her voice is emotionless and spoken from deep in her chest. I am Shamar. I hail from the slopes of the mountain. She bows, perché bow è l'arco. Bows her head slowly. Which mountain? The mountain, stranger. I do not have the time to talk much. I am in service of the ambassador. As you can imagine, I am not here to socialize. Why are you staring at me so much? Is that a bad thing to do in the city? I mean, not if you have a good reason. What reason? Flirting or hatred? If you really hate someone, if you're flirting, flirt. She stops herself and look away. Ho perso un punto di da. She can't just do that, that's rude. I will stop making eye contact in accordance with your local norms. She speaks so mechanically, strange woman. What do you know about the tea shop? Nothing, I do not spend time on Tolstad. I'm here on business today and will soon leave. But I am sorry for the distraction it brought upon the city. It wrought upon the city.
Rot.
Wrought. Why are you voting in the election? I am not a citizen of this city. Also, democracy is not something I approve of. He knows well how foolish it is. That's one hell of opinion. I agree, democracy is foolish. It's naive. She looked up in the sky. Men are weak. We speak so much, breed, and spread like an esoteric wave. Yet we do not have a view of the long term. Democracy depends on folk being informed. They are not. What if we inform them better? In a hypothetical scenario where folks could gain access to all information, they will still not be able to know what is true or not. Men are not built to make such important decisions en masse. We are lambs. We follow those greater beings. To answer your question, stranger, I would vote for whoever stopped this foolish democratic dream. That's the nationalism thing, I agree with you, which is why I'm voting for the party of Norway. Well, I disagree. I'm a free strider, you see. The people will rule better than any higher being. It's the only way to achieve equality that will one semi-supreme lurer god wizard of the city or will do just like that. Lofty ambition for a most. Half of me is lofty, the rest is pure-blooded genius. An Arcanist, gained 10 XP for choosing the political stance with 2 times. Sì, Arcanist, voglio essere un po' pazzo politicamente. You cannot be pure-blooded and a half-breed at the same time. But I wish you luck on your journey. I have some personal question for you. I do not have time for your inquiry. Please, she say, and bows her head. So, later then. I am busy then as well, cleric. The golden outreach does not cease. Never. Right, goodbye. Qui Arcanist 2, Nationalist 1, Freestrader 1, Arcanist Cleric. C'era una quest complete. A courier Norvix is standing at the gate area. Something stuck is one of the roller mill blades. Looking out over the ledge towards their roller mill blades, you see them spinning as per usual, except in one of them there's something stuck. You see a road. Interesting. It appears you spot something interesting. That design is quite easy to spot among the mass-produced Arcane era magic items. It's an immovable road. What are you looking at? Oh, he mouths and stares at the same thing you're looking at. Looks like a road? Where? An immovable road? Yes. Are they rare? No, uncommon. So they can be quite useful. So they can be quite useful as long as the esoteric force upon them have not waned.
Waned.
Why wouldn't be dangerous to try to grab it? You could die, yes, but it might be worth it, maybe? Certo che la grabbiamo. You reach out, leaning as far as you can. Oh, for God's sake, the goblin grabbed onto your skirt. Balance on the edge and you get it. It's a hard wooden frame with fancy iron set piece on each end. Along the handle is a button, however it appears permanently pressed down on. Oh, it's an immovable road. I've seen one of those before. I don't think it's supposed to move too, right? Investigate it. A quick swipe for your hands reveal its magic nature. However, this item is clearly broken. Broken how? Try giving it to the goblin. Hand it over. The goblin grabs the road. Let go. As you do, the goblin holds it alone. Yeah? It's really light. It's esoteric, clearly. Try tossing it into the air. He shrugs. Okay. He tosses up, hands up, and the road does not leave his palm. What? He mutters and tries to let it go for the magic item. I can't. It's like I'm glued to it. What the hell? Beh, meno male che abbiamo incollato lui e non noi. Here, take it back. The goblin handed over to you without the problem. He looks perplexed. Try touching it against the ground. As you do, it gets stuck to the ground. Obviously. It's a broken immovable road. It is a movable road? Sure. Huh? Whatever object it touches last, the road will be esoterically locked and aligned with. It cannot be moved once it touches an object until it comes in contact with the second object. What constitutes an object in this case? That would be an esoteric designation. Usually determined by belief or common esoteric forces, or set in a specific rules left by your. In this case, it seems to indicate a dynamic object connected via mass. Were you to cut off your arm, that arm will be a new object. Were you to place that arm on the ground, it is now a new object. But were you to, for example, staple the arm to the ground via pythons, then it could potentially constitute as part of the ground, depending on how harsh the defining forces are in this particular case. Either way, there's no real use in defining those rules right now. But it would be interesting for further study at a later date. So, What can be used for? Used? Oh, nothing. It's quite literally a useless stick. Really? Io pensavo fosse una bacchetta magica, un qualcosa. Well, if used very carefully, it could be a bookend. You know how it works? It's stuck to one thing, and when it touches a new thing, it's stuck to what instead? To that instead. You got it, you're smart. Well done. Fuck off. Looks, it's clearly useless. But now you know. Was it worth it? I mean, it's a cool stick. Active machinery inside. Ah, qui forse potevamo, se non avevamo la... A bunch of site safety rules. State safe is broken, contact your local union representative. Long way to fall. Later, sì. Up to the roof. Certo. Beh, oggi facciamo, giriamo più che possiamo qua intorno, mamma mia. Ah, così proprio. Li conosciamo piano piano tutti gli abitanti. Sleeping for service. Come back after midnight-ish. Ah, diciamo che abbiamo vista la tipa in verde. The girl perks up and glances towards the top of Tolstad. I will go look for her. Thank you, Mr. Cleric. He curtsies before you. And she scurries up. Abbiamo fatto una buona azione. Il fatto di non avere una mappa mi fa impazzire. Eccolo, the tea shop. Midst scorch marks and cracked masonry. You approach the door. Proprio massoneria. You approach the doorway. There are several planks blocking the passage. The tea shop, what a mess. A powerful force led these marks. Fastened with several nails, you also see a paper. The goblin clears his throat and begins reading the bold letters at the tea shop of at the top of the paper. Did you notice? No trespassing, coin lord. The magistrate handling minting, trade, financing of public works, and tithes.
Tithes.
Currently held by Nicholas Darrow in the Tolstad district. Ce l'avevano pure detto di Darrow prima. That doesn't include me, does it? He shrugs. I am no expert in the city law, but your companion suddenly kicks the planks, sending a subtle ripple of blue energy around his foot. At third level, vedi. A third level evocation spell commonly used as direct communication between powerful individuals. city-states or arcanists. The Norwegian sending office employs many clerics for the express purpose of casting sending across the globe. Sending off, house full of clerics casting the sending spell all day, an important tool for long distance communication. Quindi vabbè, però ci fa finire su queste cose, ma qui era sending in un altro senso. You think it would sneak in by myself if I could? It's sealed. You ain't getting it without the magistrate approval. Touch the planks. As you do, subtle ripples of blue energy appear around your gloved hand. Quindi c'è questa barriera. Sealed, sì. As you move away your hand, the faint aura shimmers in dark translucent blue and then fades away. Yep. This feels like trouble. Just standing near the door makes it clear that there's a locking spell cast on it. Yeah, beh, questo l'abbiamo capito. Standard procedure for crime scenes. Rule to lock people out. Crime scenes should be public viewing. Attempt to break it down, non abbiamo la forza. What kind of magic is this? It's arcane lock. Casting it on a bunch of planks is unorthodox, but obviously they got it working. Arcane lock. A second level abjuration spell. It locks entryways until the spell. Cost a bit to cast, but once it is in place, it's quite a nuisance. Nuisance.
Nuisance.
A nuisance. Però non viene dal francese, a nuisance. È un fastidio, un accollo. Can I bypass the effect with magic? Of course, knock would do the trick. Knock. Unlock 10 glossary entries. Knock, a second level transmutation. Unlock things. The definition of locked has been stretched over the centuries, but the spell works on most closed containers on entryways. Bet ya, if you grease it up, I will slide right off. The spell magic could also work. However, you do remember it being quite difficult to get to hold, even with the tower. But aspetta, can I guess the passphrase? Guess. Without knowing who plays the seal person and their preference, even assuming the person who plays it is an idiot who would use something of their own preference. There are millions of sentences, so there's no chance in hell you can simply guess. Now go figure something else out. As long as this blue asshole is in the way, no, you will need another way in. Forse dovrei fare appunto quel grease. You can certainly try. Do you think it could break it open, Snell? I'd love to see you try. Go for it, I believe in you, cleric. He's half mocking you. You catch glances to the shadows beyond. This place is a mess. Scorched mess. There's no other way in? Not that I know of, but it wouldn't surprise me. Costa is full of tunnels, holes, pipes, so who knows? Look around at the scorched marks. It's everywhere. This fire was intense. Arguably, these marks could possibly have been caused by a regular fire of a wooden house. This stone masonry does not have enough fuel to carry such flame, unless the building was stacked to the brim with tinder. Chissà. Vedi, c'è anche quindi ancora l'opzione che possa essere stato non la magia. Check out the trespassing notice on the plank. A handwritten note in bold lettering says, City notice, no trespassing. It then continues with a finer writing. By the order of Coinlord Darrow, the following premises are under city seizure under suspicion of criminal offense. Unlawful trespassing will be liable under 13 Ulster contempt. You will get into trouble if you enter the tea shop without talking to the Coinlord first. But really, if you're just careful about it, who cares? You need the magistrate password. Turn to Snell. The tea shop that blew up, huh? It sure did. Was one hell of a blast, but the structure's still standing. The masonry is modern, clearly the work of dwarven engineering. Looks like shit, but boy, can it take a hit. Disliking dwarven architecture is very hip these days. Allora, voglieremmo tornarci e provare a castare Grease. Chissà. nome è illeggibile del tea shop. Ma ci farò qualcosa di sti soldini. An almost intact and endlessly rising pillar, the centerpiece of Norwich. The pillar of George tours before you. It whispers to you, unintelligibly. Touch the pillar. You place a hand upon the surface, a slightly tingle spreads across your palm. There's a powerful esoteric force hidden within the structure, of course, as many scholars have uncovered before you. I have a feeling that you can meditate here. It will take some time, but it could prove invaluable. Try meditating on him. You close your eyes. You shape your mind into a arrow, shooting it towards the esoteric force. Find the rhythm to George's realm. Hear the voice. The cold drop of the pillar turns warmth in your palm. You've marked it with your spirit. Marked it? What? You're unsure. But you feel like there are more spots you need to investigate. Feel warm and deep. Open your eyes. You must keep looking, soon the pillar's secret will be revealed. You understand plainly. There is more to this pillar you need to investigate. In time and further below. Pillar kiosk. Arn, the kiosk kid. Con la mia dexterity. Kid's working his ass off, getting that bread. He must be doing that optional weekend school. He'll go far in life with that attitude, but that fire under his ass must have been lit by something fierce. He's a jumpy fellow, a survivor, type of kid that used to make it on his own. Oh, ma quante cose c'ha?
Huh?
Hello there, sir. The kids behind the counter taps a pile of newspaper. You are a postie? Postie, a reader of the Norwegian Post, che sa il giornale, the biggest newspaper in the city, founded over 50 years ago, nationalist aligned. Anywhere on anything that matters in Norway will be written about in the Post. I read magazines. Great, we got a bunch. You like fictional? Told tales of terrible Toms? Terrible Toms, a magazine containing short stories about adventures around the coast. Or maybe the weekly Homestead if you're looking for a new place. I like fiction. Same, there's so much shit out to, so hard to know what's decent. Huh? The kids do this distraught. Never mind, welcome to the Pillar Kiosk. How can I help you today, sir? He looks around. Do you wanna buy something? I have questions for you. Questions about what? City questions. Okay. He looks down the road. Not too much traffic lately, so sure. If my boss shows up, you gotta buy something too. Can you just tell me the news? The boy stares at you. So here's the things. We sell newspaper here. If you just tell you the news, we won't get any money. I'm in a rush. It gives to me. We? Are you partial owner in this business? No. But he's clearly a hard worker. Fucking over the business would fuck him over as well. Only your boss lose on this exchange. I suppose let's fucking together, you and me. Hold out your hand. But we shouldn't be mean to your boss. No, of course not. What do you know about the tea shop, except that it did explode? That's part pretty obvious, so yes. I was here, you know, saw it with my own two eyes. Look over your shoulder towards the tea shop across the street. I heard it too, definitely heard it. Walk me through it. Oh, okay. The bike rack was full. Water lane workers mostly commute on the new bridge and flotilla, but the halfway bridge does see a fair share of bikers every day and night. But by noon it was pretty dead, which is great, less work for me. Also not dead in the streets. That too sure. I hid in the back. Thought it was a, you know, attack. How loud was it? Super loud. And shaky too, Osmond fell over. What about the fire? I felt that heat, even all the way over here. It was like the kid gestures a large sphere for you. Really weird fire. Then he mutters, shrinking the sides of his imagined sphere. Weird? Gone in an instant. Weird fire? Yeah, I was like... Look, it's gonna sound really weird. Lean in and say, I like weird. It was blue. Blue fire indicated extreme temperatures. Only for a split second. When I looked again, the whole building was on fire, but it was normal looking fire. So I might have just imagined it. Interesting. Yeah, I guess. Just kinda weird. No, qui c'è qualcosa. Questo è fuoco blu. Fuoco blu. Do you see anyone suspicious? Not really. Just the normal types. A goblin was arguing with a human by the temple. Just some mild shouting about some business thing. Otherwise pretty dead around moon here usually. Anything else you noticed? How about the bird? The goblin chimes in.
Chimes.
Chimes in. Che cos'è chimes? Sembra un qualcosa di intromettersi, ma quello non lo so. Yeah, sure, I did see Mr. Drummer. He's the owner of the tea shop. Former tea shop. Usually the tea shop opens in the afternoon on work days. So it's not weird to see him walking about all day. Chatty fellow. Buy a lot of newspaper. Where was he going? Don't know. Saw him leaving the tea shop right before noon. Right before noon? Yeah. Right before the massive explosion occurred. The kid clicks his tongue. When you put it like that, look, I don't know where Mr. Drummer is or where he went. Just saw him rushing down the stairs, guessing he had for water lane, like everyone does. Did anyone else enter or leave the tea shop? No, just Mr. Drummer, he says, confidence in his voice. It was a boring day, so pretty much just people watch all morning. Mr. Drummer was the only one I saw leaving the tea shop all day. Well, until the explosion. Did you see him enter? He stops and thinks. Actually, no. I never saw him enter that morning, so I guess he must have slept there or entered before dawn. And no one else entered all morning? Not a soul. Usually not too many people there in the morning. Or forenoon, really. Forenoon, that's a good word. I like that. People should say that more often. Feel very Norwegian. Forenoon. Yeah. I saw it in that Asgal newspaper once. They like using dwarfish words like that. So my brother doesn't want me reading these copper papers. Perché copper? Perché sono printed on magical copper sheets. Ah, proprio non è un dispregiativo, è un... riferisce proprio alla fattura. The quality of the final newspaper suffered when using this method of production, but its popularity has skyrocketed with indie papers around the coast using it. Still pretty expensive to use, but now here near as costly as using proper Arcan era pressing machines. Keep reading Gazar content, kid. Don't listen to your brother, he's probably a fascist. Don't read that slop. Read City Approved articles only. If it teaches you fancy words like that, then it's probably good to avoid it. Don't want to sound like a snob. I see. Anyway, about the tea shop owner. Did drummer act strange when he left? Just in a hurry. Maybe? Saw him shuffle towards the stairs to Circle Square, probably heading down to Water Lane. Why Water Lane? It's the only place to go. Either that or the Goblin Garden, or the city below. Quindi da lì si può andare Goblin Garden, Water Lane o City Below. I don't think Mr. Drummer is a City Below type of bird. Are you sure you saw him? Absolutely, no doubt. He trails off, muttering to himself. Okay. Ruffled feathers update. He went downstairs to Pillar Crossing. That's all I saw. I've been going over it in my head. Pretty shocking stuff. What can you tell me about the owner of the tea shop? Mr. Drummer's customer. Seems nice enough for a beard folk. I've heard he hangs out at the Sphinx a lot. And Daddy's got connection with all sort of folks. All sort of folks politically. As Gully used the tea shop a lot. I've got some buddies involved in that scene. Alright. About the owner of this kiosk. Oh, my boss, Alassos. He's a pretty nice merman. What do you want to know? A male merfolk. Not to be confused with a mermaid. Half fish folk. Not always female, but still called mermaid by humans. To the chagrin of their man. Your boss is a merman? Yeah. He's in the river a lot. Like fishing. What does he do around here? He stocks the stall, usually really early in the morning. Vabbè, ci racconta tutta la vicenda. Beyond that, I think he just does other stuff. He owns a bunch of property around the city, so usually pretty busy. Vabbè, un imprenditore, proprietario, terriero. Can I speak with him? Mi piacerebbe. I guess he's not very talkative, but usually fishes behind the kiosk in the afternoons. That's his only break from work, I think. But don't tell me I told you. What does he pay you? I get about 5 crowns an hour. Perché 5 crowns an hour?
Crowns.
That's a really good salary for someone my age. Yes, that's a salary. Good work. Un po' di più. Maybe I've heard you're supposed to get paid more when you get older. My brother says more experience equals a better salary. Your brother, as long as you feel like you're selling your labor at fair price, just remember to stay vigilant. Sure? I don't really know what that means, but yes, absolutely. He's confused. I've got some other things I want to ask. Do you know Frank, son of Frank? No, not really. His eyes shot open for a split second. He looks nervous. It's probably because he has nothing to tell you and feels bad about it. The kid lacks money. Give him some and he will sing. Maybe this will refresh your memory. Slide him a crown. Convince him to tell him through the power of social manipulation. Sì, dai, devo fare almeno qua. No! No, per uno! Ah! It's an few knows, and you're not one of them today. What do you do then? It's clearly hiding something. But whatever you do, do not scream and slam your fist down to the counter. I say, don't vote. The slam frightens him. He just steps back, huh? The kid nervously glances to the side as you get more agitated. Don't worry, kid, it won't get violent. Oh, okay, good. He looks terrified. E gli diamo. The kid stares at you. Really? He wants more. Clear your throat and hand me 9 additional crowns. A tip. His eyes go wide. Then he gladly pockets the coins and gives you a nervous smile. Thanks. Oh, okay. Purchase to tame a dame. For 20. News in Norwich for 9. The second biggest newspaper in the city. Freestyler Line. Infamous for the gossip and lowbrow journalism. Hold on, yes. I can ask you a favor? Anything, young man. You're the future of the city. I heard there's trouble down on Water Lane tonight. Please go and make sure that nothing happens. Why do you care if there's trouble on Tostad? Please just do it. Cosa abbiamo comperato? Comunque dai, non ci vorrà tanto a prendere, se non dico tutti i punti, ma quasi. Dai, Dragon of Tolstad dovremmo averla finita. Andiamo alla taverna. Perché no? Oh, la sfinge ubriaca. A jukebox. Engage. Your eyes take in the unsettling green glow of the diskettes. Esoterically infused stone disc which has been engraved by tipo un vinile di pietra magico. Spoken word spell. These have been mass-produced since the mid-arcane era. Spoken word. A second level transmutation spell. It allows the caster to engrave a spoken message into a surface. Whoever touches will telepathically hear the message in their mind. However, this spell has been mostly used for the last 2 centuries as a way of mass-producing musical records. Oh, hells yeah, now we're talking. So many nights spent looking over the track list. Just don't think about the time they threw you out for playing DLS 15 times in a row. Cos'è DLS? Dylan Last Stand, a classic dive bop that got really popular around the time you were born. All the Ritzian players know it. Siamo un po' indecisi sull'affiliazione politica, però continuerò a essere un arcanist. Play this called Island Thing. Play this called at once Scene 7 Interlude. Let the chain be dust. Il terzo. A crystal connected with the speaker system touch the stone surface and the music begins to play. C'è qualcuno con cui parlare, direi, Direi proprio di sì. Raz. Bow for hire. Questo non è bow, ma è bow. Bow or bow? Come carisma. Spacchiamo, ci facciamo tutto. Questo è il primo che forse riusciamo a prendere tutto. Ah, Razbo, he wants to kill you. This is Massimo regulated confident, a problematic goblin supremacist. We will not debate you on it. He doesn't even see you as worthy of being alive. A focus killer. His body count must be in the hundreds. The type of man who wishes for nothing but the destruction of humanity. The Heart Folk especially. And the downfall of these invading species upon the shores of Ascani. The more you stare into those deranged eyes of his, the more you understand. He's not full of hatred from some idealistic vision of the future. He does not view the future of Ascani as a goblin paradise. All he wants entirely due to some personal vendetta fueled by sociopathy is to raise human for existence. Gulp. The scent of smoke fills your helmet as you approach the hooded goblin. He takes a drag from the pipe, his rust face illuminated. Greetings, citizen. The hooded goblin did not reply at first. Then he just looked to Snell with a cool. Oh. I see you're getting more Cran by the day. Cran, the goblin traitor. The one who signed the Goblin Treaty, giving away everything to Earth after the Goblin Genocide. Sometimes Goblin invoke his name to call another Goblin a human lover. Fuck you. Identify yourself, Goblin. Hearing clears throat slowly. Nah, I suggest bothering someone else human. You know this guy, Snell? Sure, that's Rats. Ignore him. He's not interested. The Goblin let out a cloud of smoke. Listen to your pet cleric. What was that? Did you say something, Raz? He only scoffed at Ned's question. I feel like there's some tension here. Both of them just quietly glare at each other. What do you know about the tea shop? He doesn't know shit. The hooded goblin laughed. Need help, huh? Figured. Are you insulting me, Goblin? Yeah. Now fuck off. Your companion turns to you and mutters, God, he's such a fucking cunt. What are you voting at the election? None of your fucking business, human. You have to tell me, I'm the cleric of Norwich. He blows out a big cloud of foul-smelling smoke. It's some kind of virginish bushfin's pipe. Awful. Nah. So who do you work for? Why would I tell you? Why wouldn't you? It is embarrassing. Do you work for like Viscan or something? The goblin freeze. No. What? Oh, he doesn't? Wow, yeah. He didn't even need to pick up on anything he did here. Fuck off, human. Glass him. Is that dangerous? You grab a half-filled glass from the table as the goblin watches your movement closely. That's his drink. You should put it down before he gets mad. Your companion gives you a careful look. Trying to decide what glassing means, huh? Smash into his face, non abbiamo la forza. Give him the glass. Give him the glass. He grabs and says thanks. Then he places the glass back into the table. Just go. Mannaggia, però vedi, non avendo la forza non possiamo sfidare nessuno. Non possiamo fare le cacciare che vorremmo. Andiamo da qualcun altro, ma io vado a mettere su un po' di acqua per la... No, forse sì, boh. Ah, intelligence pure questo ce lo facciamo. Goblin Hill level not so much. A crazed kleptomaniac of a goblin. He needs help, professional help. Be careful with him. This is not a typical example of a goblin. This is an extreme, a stereotype, a fable. Phoenix Fulio. There's a rhythm to your realm and you heard it. Quello è l'Esoteric Ebb. Arcanis lo dovremmo riempire. Li approcciamo tutti questi alla taverna, dai. The goblin glance at you. Smarter. Snell. Don't cause any trouble. Ok. Snell motion for you both to leave the guy alone. One of your cousins? Something like that. As the two of you take a step away, Snell's side. Smarter is a notorious pickpocket. Don't let him get too close. You should learn from Smarter. So he's a goblin? Snell glares at you. No, look, I'm talking a real, actual, pathological kleptomania case. Like I can't keep his hands away from pocket type deal. Except Smarter is. He fails at every single time, hurting himself in the process too. Yeah. I don't think this is ever gotten away with anything, so just be careful around him. I don't want him hurting himself again. So let's not stick around then. Oh, che palline che siete tutti. A donation plate. There's a small plate with a fair bit of crowns scattered about the surface. The goblin glances at you as you approach the donation bowl. I want to donate the crown. You do. How much though? Don't go overboard, she's an artist, they're rich. Donate una. Be careful, place a single crown into the bowl. How generous. She doesn't acknowledge. Rude. Pochissimo con la mia wisdom. Another goblin. This one is looking to escape. The goblin seems to be playing around with the string of her instrument. Wave. Her entire body jolts when she sees you. Your existence is shocking to her. I'm playing in a second, okay? Okay. Okay. I need some tense ambience for all the conversation I'm going to have here tonight. You should play some debate music. It would be suitable with the election coming up. She squints. That's not a genre. You're probably right. She finished whatever she was doing to her instrument. Alright, let's hear this shit. This isn't really a dancing tavern. Otherwise you'd go wild. Let her play. Okay, here we go. L'ascoltiamo volentieri. Orc. Hello. Level 4 fighter, a traveler. Ah, ma è di nuovo lei. You do something kind to 1,000 amounts. Stand fair, really. Obviously. All of my proprietary deals would have to be included in that. Obviously. Which would make more a kind to double that price, at least. The orc woman pays her cap on the counter and leans forward. We hope you will consider it. The fiendish woman behind the counter gives her a wide, sharp grin. Vera turns to leave and almost walks right into you. Whoops! Ferric, lovely to see you again, but I can't stop to check. Do swing by Waterland later, will you? As the orc step past you and leaves the tavern, you look over the woman behind the bar. She locks eyes with you while putting away the orc's cap. Approach. Certo che la approcciamo. Dexterity. Quasi tutto. Demon. Entrepreneur. Money, money, money. This is what you get when the pragmatism of devilhood mixes with the dexterity of a humanish fingers. Mind-making, crown-conscious capital creator of the highest class. Entrepreneurship is about disruption. It's about seeing through the common clay and figuring out the acts of reality. It's like magic, really, except it works on scale. This woman has found several holes in the city purse. Over the years, she's run factories, founded startup, dealt with city corporation, guild deals, and now she's tavern proprietor. Come si pronuncia proprietor?
Proprietor.
Proprietor. The proprietor.
Proprietor.
Perché è la titolare. A highly accomplished woman, the type to flourish in the freestrider future. Se la proviamo a trifolare. Concentrate Rub Ale. Non voglio però rovinarmi di alo. E la Sfinge, poi andiamo alla Sfinge. Rick's Biter, local taverner. Behind the counter stands a woman of Finship origin. Focused on filling up one of the taps, she immediately stops when noticing you. Welcome to the Drunk Sphinx. My good lord, a cleric. How lovely to see the city stop by. She gives you her full attention. Name Sir Rick's Biter. I will serving you tonight. This woman is a perfect hub of information. Pick her brain. Leave her brain alone. Violence is never the answer. What is an expression? Perché la mia wisdom è stupidina. Mi piacerebbe tanto già fare un'altra run con altre statistiche e vedere come cambia il loro rapporto con me, il loro rapporto tra di loro. I want to pick your brain. Points of their horns. How did that happen? I'm the cleric of Norvik. The cleric of my... Aren't you a catch? Actually, I need to make it clear to you that I'm not a cleric. No way. You're the tavern owner. Do you have a bunch? How did that happen? Oh, she mouths and gives her left horn a pat. Funny story, actually. My family fled the last megastorm of Hexy. I think it was in the last few years of the Coast War. They were invited to join a Vorgani guild due to my father's influence as a former diplomat. XC, one of the 8 bundle of the coast, means either growing more into the air in abyss, a deeply cursed jungle, escape filled with volcanic rivers, flashing insect and murderous plant. Once an elven sanctuary, now home to the demonic warlords, stifling cities and celestial crusaders. Demon, chaotic evil fiend. There are mostly bloodthirst monster and rage-crazed barbarians fallen out of Hexy, but some of their more civilized spawn do reigns in the cities and realms surrounding the endless maw. That's where I was born, so actually I'm a native Vorgani. But what's your question? Both my parents were members of the House of Fire, the aristocracy ruling over several cities. They are famous for being elf, human, or even celestial who intermingled with the demonic force of the region. Intermingled, cioè che si sono intrecciati.
Intermingled.
Sì, che si sono intrecciati. Ok, but still influential in the politics of several smaller coastal towns in the western jungle. Continue. And I don't know if you know much about the folks of Hexy, but let's just say horns are a quite common sight among the highborn. Thank you for the information. No problem. I'm quite proud of the journey I've made, with or without my bloodline backing me. I want to pick your brain. That could be arranged, she says, and gives you a big smile. I will pick it real good. I will pick it real good, dai. Neat, continuiamo a flirtare. She keeps at that smile. Sure. If there's anything I can do for you, just ask. I know more than most of this sprawling city of ours. Oh, Snell, she exclaimed as she noticed him over the counter. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Want something to drink? I'm on the clock. He nods towards you. Oh, you're the escort, huh? That's not how I'd phrase it, but sure. She laughed and stuck a sharp finger in your face. Don't get Snell into too much trouble here. He's already grumpy enough as is. Anche lei lo conosce, anche lei lo prende in giro. The two of them clearly share a past, in an enemies to lovers kind of way, only without the lover's part. What's up with the gesture toward the Sphinx? That's Olzis, great girl. She's a Geno Sphinx. She's been here since like early Gate era, but good luck getting more than that out of her. She always drinks this much? Yeah, that's the only reason this place stays open. She lets us all hang around her skirt chamber, and in return I get her pumped on some river wine. Cost-wise, it's not that much worse than a regular city rent. Thanks for telling me about the Sphinx. No problem, she said with a wide grin. Qui dobbiamo chiedere un sacco di cose, però dobbiamo fare, scusate, devo controllare. Ah no, vabbè, posso ancora aspettare qualche minuto. Non sono amici, no? Don't say that, you're hurting my feelings. There's tension here. If you want a result of him, ask about it. That's... Snell quickly snaps with you a glare. That's a statement I will strongly refute, cleric. The friendish woman nods. Of course, refuted it is. It is. For sure, absolutely. She laughed and leaned in over the counter. All jokes aside, this is all just part of the job, you know? Flirting? Well, sure. Bullying? I wouldn't call it that. More like playful teasing. Creating sexual tension? A bit off the nose, but sure. Harassing goblin? No, that's more of a hobby. Being a little thin? That's just in my blood. Being sarcastic? Always. Mi piace come risponde a tutte. Questi vedi, sono dei momenti davvero brillanti nella scrittura. Talking too much? No? She gives you a stern frown. The goblin raised an eyebrow. She burst out laughing. Actually, yes. Being a pain in the ass, forziamo every day. Answering all my questions? Every single one. Lei per ora è una mitica, mi piace tantissimo. It just happens to be as such that Snell here is a very hard nut crack. The hardest. The goblin closes his eyes and mutters something to himself. Your companion doesn't seem to enjoy the ornate woman's attention. Ah, something is off. She's speaking in sexual undertones, yet you do not feel weak. Well, duh, she's not your type, that's pretty obviously. Does Nell spend a lot of time in here? You don't need to ask her, it's not relevant. He does, she said, ignoring his comment. Although this is the most convenient third place for the HWBT, so it's not like he's got too many options. Third place, a place for the community and so... We've got all the... come... terziario. We've got all the wonderful goblin we could need here every night. I don't think Nell finds you very attractive. Oh really? I don't notice. Although I do wonder what his type is. Don't tell anyone, but I think he might be into goblins. Probably something weird leads her for. Really? She said with an exaggerated expression. What a juicy rumor. Don't fucking talk about me like I'm not here. And cleric, don't play into her mind games. She will drain the wholesomeness out of your damn soul. Oh, like that. Drain the wholesomeness. I should put that on a poster. But what about you, cleric? Do you find me attractive? Really, really not your type. Would be fun, but no. Imagine partnering with such a blabbermouth. It will be your own personal hell. Okay, I could potentially. She pumps a fist in the air. Yeah, score. She doesn't say, I haven't seen such enthusiasm from a man since I dated the devil cultist. Boy, was he disappointed when he found out I'm 5/4 demon. She's claiming to be 125% demon. That was a joke, probably. Altre domande. Abbiamo finito ed è solo la parte divertente. Questa è lunga. E poi la sfinge e poi chiudiamo. Io volevo giocare anche a qualcos'altro, ma mi sento super stanco. Secondo me se faccio questo non posso fare altro e viceversa. What do you know about the tea shop? It blew up. People keep saying that. Right? Very strange. She gives you a quick shrug. Wasn't here, not usually on Tolstad over noon time. I'm more of a night gal, obviously. So I'm not much help, sadly. I've just heard the regular. But I can recommend talking to the kid at the kiosk upstairs. His brother comes in here often and I overheard him talking about it. Yes, I spoke with Arn. Great, hope you didn't scare him too much. Hey Dane. Tell me about the owner of the tea shop. Drummer is a real piece of work. Like, I'm impressed that he kept the tea shop afloat for so long, but look, I just know the rumors, okay? I love rumors. She leaned into the smirk. Same. Drummer kept the tea shop full of Azkalists, mostly young ones, but supposedly he's been working with the Free Strider on the side. Like some kind of spy, she laughed. Could you imagine? Does he come here often? Nah, or well, yeah. Is there a maybe? Look, I see him around, he's not a regular. But when he does show up, he's loud and wants to perform, you know? She just started drumming on the counter. Not the greatest patron. Do you think he blew up the tea shop himself? No. She shakes her head and repeats her answer. No. That bird couldn't make a Basley move like that. Now, run away from it? For sure, that's what I expect. And indirectly, I'd be surprised if he's not at least a little to blame. Where do you think he's at? Well, I do remember you mentioning something of an escape plan one time. Really? That sounds very relevant. The bird was drunk, okay? Muttered something about covering every liability. And how his escape plan was? Look, I thought it was a bad joke. Ruffled feathers. But he said, from what can I recall, that his plan was to sneak into a crate and ship himself to Reeds. Idiotic. You have to survive for weeks in a tiny cramped space. Some birdfolk can survive for months without sustain. And if he had friends on board, they could just let him out after they passed the immigration control. That's ridiculous. That wouldn't work, would it? I mean, I'm sure it happened at some top point, historically. He shrugs, drunken ramblings, but if I were you, I've checked water lane. Eccoci a cosa succede. Frankson. Hearty laugh. I'm so happy I'm not the one having to ask that stupid fucking question. No, I'm afraid I haven't. She eventually managed to tell you. Sorry, cleric. Probably gets hundreds of people using the fake name during any given weekend. What is the tavern talk? Talk of the tavern. What the odd gossip they say? The fiendish tavernscape suddenly stopped cleaning the lantern and stares at you. Excuse me, no, I'm asking. She tossed the cloth over the shoulder. You want rumors? Yes, please. A missing paladin ad. Cavolo, comunque ho fatto un po' di esperienza, noto, 5,45 sono 900, ma non sembra essere a metà, però. Non capisco. Well, have you heard about the missing paladin? That's a bit of a mystery. Lord Gorm is said to have gone missing the city below, although really it's just rumor. Lord Gorm, the last anointed paladin of Hurt. Rinomato?
Anointed.
Non lo so. One of the original face of the party of Norvik. He went missing months ago, and many believe he has abandoned his post. But I haven't seen him for weeks, so it's a bit worrying. Lord Gorm, of course, heard of him. He's the last paladin of Urt. He's very important the city. I'd like to ask more about him. Sure, I don't know much to be completely honest. But if I were you, I wouldn't get my hopes up. You know him? I've handed him drinks a few times, exchanged few words. So sure, I know him. What does he look like? Big guy, Urtgard-like outfit, but with more gold. Vabbè, se è il più famoso, il più... non so che cos'è. Anointed, va. Insomma. Not the type you'd like to arm wrestle. Other than that, green eyes, blonde, long hair, a fancy nobleman in armor, gothic. Did he wear a helmet? Oh no, never actually. He always showed off those golden locks. Guess it proclivity for vanity was very much surpassed your own, cleric, she said with a playful smile. La sua inclinazione per la vanità sorpassa di molto la nostra. You ever heard him say anything suspicious? She laughed. Look, drunkards say all kind of shit. Can't read it too much. Mostly a bunch of ranting about every single political entity in the city should be burned to the ground. Typical pro-human slogans, you know the stuff. That sounds like the objective truth to me. Oh, gave him some snarls, I did. I heard all kind of rumors, cleric. Either he's cracked under the pressure and start living as a fisherman or beggar on Waterlane. Cioè c'è tutta sta Waterlane, quello che vuole scappare, Casino che se ne va, l'orca che abbiamo rimorchiato che scende, e mo pure il paladino scomparso, or he died in Totana's blow, fighting undead abomination, or he jumped on a ship to Mule Town. Maybe Lord Gorm wants to head out into the infinite waste through the Toll Pass. A valley containing the inland end of River Torna, as well as the part that stretches on Norwegian civilization, known for its rare mineral deposit, the terrible barnacle goose, and almost horrific esoteric storm. Barnacle goose, a black feather with medium-sized goose, known to consume travelers up in uccellacci mostruosi. Either way, I don't think you're going to find him, cleric, but maybe there's some clues as to his fate somewhere here in Tolstad. I'm searching for Paladin. That's a cheeky question. Don't worry, I will not repress your political opinions. Promise? Press a hand against your cheek and scream. I swear, Lady Rubik. She's taken aback by your exclamation. Don't just start screaming like that, for fuck's sake. She clearly loves to talk about her own thoughts and opinions for days, so early on I thought about voting for the Agricultural Party. They had a big focus on small business owners, that's me. But obviously they move over the bigger worker class focus and are now completely swallowed by Azgalis. So now I'm leaning towards the free striders, come dicevamo all'inizio. They want to build up the economy and increase trade, which will be directly make my life so much easier. Plus, it's hard to ever vote for the nationalist when they want my kind to be a second-class citizen, ma infatti perché dovresti mai votare? And the free striders will let you buy your way to first class or what? He gives him a half smirk, something like that. Why would you more... Fuck fascism, give her a fight. She totally met your hand in Asa's fang's neck. Hot shots, hell yeah. You like the cultural party? Liked the manifesto, okay? Your companion scoff, perché comunque non è comunista. You're a free strider then. Hey, just because I vote for them doesn't mean I take it in my life. Tell me about yourself. Please do dive on it, cleric. Anything particularly you like to? Your business, my favorite topic. I've got several businesses in fact. People call me a bit of a serial entrepreneur. Not an in, sadly. I've been thinking of expanding, but as you might imagine, it's quite difficult, especially with all the wonderful home lord. Magistrate handling construction public. Uno dei vari magistrati. Housing district. Holy City held another city below crusade. Va bene. starting off printing, believe it or not, so many ago at this point. Great boom in the industry, right where my horse were budding. Did you know we had over 12 paper in circulation at this peak? Crazy. Way more capital than anticipated, which gave me the opportunity to invest quite heavily. And you know me, she said, and winks. Is over familiar for a living. Admirable. Sì, perché io voglio che mi scatti il flirt con lei. I took on big risk or big reward. A little bit of agriculture, a little bit of politics, signed some deals with the free strider, some with agriculturists, or whatever they call themselves these days. My main business today is actually textile manufacturing. Started a mill 2 years ago with the most inspirational woman you ever met. Le suffragette, ma ci sono anche qui. Widows, immigrant, origin. Dwarf and woman in the early days of this. Vedi? Più o meno la stessa cosa. Within a new world of feminine industry. Must be making a shit ton of coin. Good for her. Turn was born out of my meeting with all this. She nods her head in direction of the massive sphinx at the end of the chamber. Sì, ne abbiamo già parlato. She's guarded this place for centuries, millennia. Gods only know how long. Even our god Lord Urt just let her be. But I managed to get her to open up a bit. A few drinks later, we've got a contract signed. To convince a sphinx, a creature sent by the very high gods to alter her life's mission, this woman is vastly highly persuasive. Today is a highly successful establishment with patrons from all over the world. Things are a bit slow these days with the whole tea shop drama, but alas, things will pick up soon again, I'm sure. That is not how you use alas in a sentence. Oh yeah, she talks so damn much you barely even pick on it. This fiend loved the sound of her own voice, could be very useful. You're devil or demon, fiend? Neither, you know. I suppose the city classified me as a fiendish guest citizen, or whatever the legal definition is. She can vote, but she can't hold office. But my blood origin is demon, like all the houses of fire. She winks and said, I try not to flaunt it too much. Tends to get the boys a bit too excited, you know? Tens anche la valuta. Vabbè. She clearly craved the abyss. Don't say that out loud. I don't know. Fair. Long story. I will keep it short. I'm sure you've got better things to do. Essentially, family from Oxy was born in Vordiani, raised in Reeds during the wars of the revolution, led my family behind and came here to start anew. Now I'm building business. Thank you so much for taking in an outcast like myself, cleric. He's eating on you. Eat back. I do not answer for the visa and immigration gear. I flirt back. Yes! Also, do not... Oh, what is my type? You got a question to ask why you're awkwardly staring at this ornery woman. Don't call her that. I mean, to reduce a person wherever ornate may appear. That's not... Whatever, just say something. You've been staring at her silently for like 15 seconds now. You're welcome, citizen. I am. She shows sharp teeth and brings me. Am I... She's... Am I allowed to say that? Isn't that a coarse thing, like knowing the true name of a devil, lawful evil friend? They are lawyers, soul trader. Really? Let's just move on. I will keep... She wants to head down until gravity flips. Never been myself. Ah, perché voglio l'undercoast? Gravity flip, the powerful esoteric effect, keeping a perfect gravity balance between the coast and the undercoast. Also used as the name for a specific layer in which the gravity flips occurs, which is around 3 to 5 miles beneath the sea level of both sides. Ma sei davvero un tesoro. C'è stato anche l'autosave. Jump. Dopo ci saltiamo. Behold. No, non voglio usare la wisdom. A lull falls of the ambient cheer, just a bit of uncertainty as this cleric step before the tavern's singular attraction. This happens all the time. Visitors come to gawk and stare. Some brave want to speak with her. The lady of the house, our most delightful host. Look up, down. Towering. You stare at this somewhat feline or feline?
Feline.
Feline creature up in the stage, a living myth, currently taking a swig out of a barrel, clearly not paying you any mind. Gino Sphinx is not to be trifled with. Her physical characteristics are enough to crush everything that is you. However, she will not have to raise a paw, for her magical prowess her magical prowess could exile you from George's realm in an instant, quindi molto potenti magicamente. Tread carefully. You must have been here for millennia. Must be boring. Tower makes sense. Your legs tremble. Good. Treat her like a cat. Let her speak first. Sphinx looks down at you. Meeting her glowing blue gaze makes you feel like you're falling far, far below the world. Her expression turns dark. She scrunches that pretty face of hers. Dark tidings bring you to the heart. She speaks, low and rolling. You expect her to act a bit drunker, considering the empty barrel to her side. Then again, who knows how well a sphinx holds her liquor. A helmed dog, dragging its leash around the vestiges of yore. She extends a claw, thick as your arm, and pokes you in the stomach. Woof. That's ridiculous. Don't wear a helmet. That's rude. Woof. Her expression grows lighter. Then she lets out a deep breath. That sort of joke only works once, so no barking. If you want her attention, you must do something remarkable. She takes another sip from her barrel, not looking at you. Watch yourself, cleric, he whispers to you. All this isn't one for idle chit-chat. Personnel, you know the Sphinx? He shakes his head. Every night there's a drunk jackass that asks for a riddle. She usually doesn't earn them. It's fine, Snell. I can handle this creature, pointed the Sphinx said. I'll be careful then. Wise word. I wish to prove myself worthy, great Sphinx. Worthy, little one? Worthy how? Un sacco di cose da chiedere. Torno subito. Che forse è fatto. e vai con la mia cena. Niente, ora mi è passato il sonno, come quando leggi e superi quel momento della lettura. Anche perché davvero solo... Sì, tutti ce facciamo. Did you think it was some exclusive club? Well, no, I figured you only give riddle to those who earn it. A riddle's reveal. It is a tool, not a gift. Finish your last bit out of her bullet and put it down with a slam. Then the Sphinx leans in, hissing. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed cling close to wall. Mattered in shadow, I witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the bowl. He raised her paw and gestured to the open chamber. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's char. What am I? Easy. The answer is wine, specifically grape wine, clinging to trellises. Che cos'è? Il traliccio.
Trellises.
Clinging to trellises eliminates many other fruit. And grape wine has been made for generations. So, given that this is an entry-level riddle, you imagine simple wine will suffice. Your companion smirks and gives you a little chuckle. He knows. Che fa così? Wine. Give you an intense stare. She's totally going to eat you. Wine, yes, that is very correct, little one. Wonderful job. Another riddle solved. You'd say... Don't. Since you're so amazing, interested in a quest? I do not have the ability to be blind. What gives you a concerned look? Serious expression. Accepting a divine quest from a sphinx is no trifling matter, mortal. In fact, few words survive such a ordeal. A quest, indeed. Behind me stands a vault. It opens only to those worthy. She leans her massive head doors. Guarda come beve. Close enough for you to smell the wine breath. To prove worthy, you must solve my most ancient of riddles. So all it was handed to me when first stepped inside this chamber, millennia past. Am I pretty great at questing? I don't think I have time for this. Bow your head in silence. Your companion whispers to you, you're going on an epic sphinx quest now? Sure, why not? Not like we are on a job or anything. Go to your companion and whisper, this is important as Nell. Maybe to you. No, really, it's very important for the job too. Convince me. Could grant me esoteric knowledge, or like the tea shop? Besides, fair enough. Look, I won't stand in the way. Just don't waste too much time on it, ok? Beh, com'è possibile? The Sphinx stares at your companion. Ma fallo fuori, che un po' mi sta simpatico, un po' no. Hiro must face much adversity during his quest. She laughed quietly to herself and takes a swig of wine. So what exactly is the Sphinx quest? This is a riddle, the answer of which is not uttered in words, but revealed by action. She goes quiet and closes her eyes. In action, just listen. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Tongues è la lingua. A third level divination spell. It grants a target the ability to understand all languages. For the target speech to be understandable by any sentient listener. Divination, a 4th level divination spell. It allows the user to exchange 100. Burrow at deep within the heart. A primal string to show your worth. Then she leans in, almost whispering those final words. Folk and gods in thronging earth. A man divine alone howls his words that is intensely vague and cryptic. Oh, get it. I don't get it. That is very vague. I love riddle, but I have to think about this one. And this riddle, the answer is not something you can speak. Use a massive claw to grab something from her pile of stuff and tosses to you. Tavern key. Once you understand the riddle, return here. You can only solve it during daytime, alone. We wouldn't want anyone else accidentally figure out this riddle, would we? She glanced at your goblin companion. The goblin groans. I'm not interrupting the job for that. Do it in the morning or something, before you pick me up. The Sphinx chuckles. I never sleep, so you can show up anytime after sunrise and before the taverns open. What have you gotten yourself into? Sound like this could lead to one hell of a treasure. Can you tell me an hint? A hint? I dare stand for a spin the next for a hint? You put down a bar of wine and leans in. You can ask questions, but no, you don't get a hint. Wow, what a cool distinction all this. Those are really different things. She wins. Damn it, that was a hint. I will have to do something with you, Solver. That was your one hint. It is not something you do directly with me. So I'm not supposed to do something, not just answer the regular all. Do action I'm supposed to have action to do with? That would be a no such question, please. What? What action? Rules here. No location-based question. Anyone else solve the riddle? Only a handful of folks have been proven worthy to enter the vault during the eons I've watched over it. I will only tell you more if you prove yourself worthy, of course. Yes, have to try some stuff. Trial and error. Not the most silly tactic I've seen over the years. She shrugs again, her cat shoulders sliding smoothly up and down. Which looks surprisingly funny with her wolf-felling body. Ain't going on. Do all ancient esoteric Antecipalian creatures act like this? How disappointing. Antecipalian old di minoriam term, meaning before the closing of the gate. Però non sono neanche queste divinità. Used to refer to those who lived before the end of the gate era, exactly 2027 years ago. Isn't early to hang around here for your lady's tavern? She left the barren. Can I ask why? Why a tavern? I was convinced. She glanced at the pile of wine by her side. It was not a battle quickly won, however. Rick's biter worked tirelessly for many, and evening to argue her point. Eventually, and completing a few quests on my behalf, I let her rent out a part of my lair, but only for a century. Oh, is that all? Do you like the hustle and bustle in here? I'm content for now. Has anyone ever tried to fight you? Yes, alcohol tends to lower risk assessment capabilities among mortals, which sometimes end up with violence. Always from a man, strangely enough. I do wonder why. C'è pure quel pelo di morale, giustamente. You a big drinker, mi sembra palese. Certo che lo è. I partake. It does little to affect me, but the taste is lovely. You've never seen her sober, so who knows if it's true. Must cost a lot to get you all this wine. No, Rick's exhibitor procured it all for me. Such lovely river wine. Takes another sip. I've grown to enjoy the taste. Nice to see you enjoying your time there. I've got other questions. The Sphinx drinks again. Isn't it lovely to hang around here for millennia? She takes a deep breath. My perspective on time is different from mortals. When one view events on a skirmish with arrows, a shot like this, but a trembling. So evening is not really fast for you. The Sphinx takes a moment. When a child grows, a house once thought massive will soon start to filter. As time grinds on, the idea of today is no longer a kind of possibilities. For me, that house is minuscule. That's fascinating. Thanks you for sharing your perspective. You're welcome, little one. Mortality makes... So there's no good things in your life then? Her expression shakes subtly. I found that when this question is put to me, despite my vast age, despite my demeanor, despite everything, the inquirer is not referring to companionship. She taps a close. You wish to speak of reproduction, little one? Cleric. You hear a harsh whisper. Are you sure about this? Actually, never mind. She not very. I understand. Anything else? Hanging in towers can be too lonely, right? Ah, vedi, adesso preferisce la vita. Io qui vado un po' veloce, ragazzi, ma... But I'm not an... And if this case... She stares at you for a long while. Of course, no, little one. You, that could be hurt. You say that to everyone. Can't ask something else. What do you know about the tea shop? It startled me, which is not an easy thing to do. I imagine you're quite close to it. Yes, an explosion like that has not been felt in this place for decades at least. Stay quiet for a few seconds, then jump towards her and understandable now. Yes, it reminds me of our darkness. Other people call the Fade era. It was a time just before I was tasked with guarding this vault. Then the Mollusca Towling cut off the bargain with me for divine knowledge and assistance. I like those nails. Old magic. You've been here since the Fade era? There was an excursion early on, but yes, a bit over a millennia ago. That's awesome. Thank you. Nails? No, they built the first city here. From what I know. You've walked their street, little one. A bit, yes. They were master of wizardry far before the arcanists, or humans for that matter, arrived at your cost. Vedi, ci insegna un sacco di cose. Cioè, questa taverna quanto ci prende? Un'ora? Più di un'ora? Io mi prendo un altro po' di cibo. They made some poor choice during the rise and fall. They aligned with your against the gods for one. And of course they picked the wrong side of the Dragon Wars. The tragic tale of a civilization that I truly believed to be good. Good for the cost. They were just a little slow, caught up in them at the end, Twisted Snake. Do you think it was Dragonfire that caused the explosion? She scoffed. No, I do not. It was much too concentrated of a blast. Besides, a dragon large enough to cause such destruction would also surely not be capable of sneaking away without a single witness. Could someone have used firebolt to cause the explosion? Sphinx shrugs. I've seen more than a fair share of those in my time. Seems like everyone used it. A third level fireball would not come close to that power. Fireball? What about a higher level fireball? She shrugs. It would have been very high. So who knows, but I'm sure you will figure it out. Tell me about the suit. I'd prefer not. This terrible rain is a topic left out of polite conversation. Whenever you see the flaming mounts upon the burned coast lit up in smoke and cinder, you will know his will has not gone away. Chi era? Esult era uno dei cattivi. Flames of many color? Blue, yellow and purple. It is said if you can see the purple it will be the last thing you do. Il colore peggiore di cui possono essere le fiamme, either from blinding or merciful death. That's all for now, thank you. What are you voting in the election? I'm not. What? Why? Christian said, I cannot leave to vote, I'm afraid. You can leave here for even a minute or two? I could, but that would break my divine quest. Understandable. You cannot do that ever. I would not have expected a mortal to understand. Interesting. You could leave. What do you vote for? Oh, I don't know. Keep on scrolling. What would you have me to vote? To wear in my shoes. For me, I will lead us a glorious future as a wizard god king. Oh, will you? This thing obviously doesn't... What's the door behind you? Nothing, but it's clearly something. How perceptive of you, little one. She holds up a paw as if presenting a prize. Behind me lays but one divine vault of many. She lowers her head slightly in a tiny bow. I am its protector. It's really not more complicated than that. Ma è quello che se facciamo la quest capiremo. You are a very impressive creature, you know that? Attempt to flirt. Ma sì, flirtiamo pure con lei, ma che... cioè... questo forse è il top a cui possiamo ambire, flirtare con la Sfinge. She taps her claw. Where are you going with this, little one? Oh boy. Get ready to run. Yeah, this might be a bad idea. Your goblin companion kicks you in the shin. Don't get mazed, he hisses at you. That's how you get mazed. The goblin is referring to the concept of being magically transported into an endless prison. Non ce l'abbiamo. O ce l'abbiamo il doppio per il 6. Che facciamo? Never mind, la prossima volta. Alright, little one. Let's you simply cut very loudly. Ok, qui ti ridice l'indovinello. È notte. E la chiave della taverna ci ha dato. An easy riddle. Arcanist lo stiamo diventando sempre di più. E beh, io direi che possiamo salvare. Overwrite files. Oggi davvero siamo sparati quasi 3 ore. E lo attacco all'altro file, un episodio 3. Magari non lo so quanto può andare avanti. 15-20 ore. Quanto può durare? Lo scoprirò. Lo scopriremo probabilmente insieme. Va bene. Detto ciò, con questa musica io vi lascio direttamente. Sapete che c'è, oggi è andata così, 3 ore giuste. E ci si rivede domani verso le 17. Buon proseguimento, campioni, ma soprattutto buon gioco.